Hello students, today in this module we are going to study about the pollen grains. The pollen grains represent the male gametophyte. If you touch the open anther of any hibiscus plant or any other flower, you will find that there is some yellow dusty powder on your fingers. Those dusty powder is basically the pollen grains that fall on your hand. Now, what is the structure of the pollen grain? The pollen grains are generally spherical in structure, and when you measure them, they are having a diameter of about 25 to 50 micrometers. They are covered by the two layers of the different materials. The hard outer layer is called the exine layer, and it is made up of the substance called sporopollenin. Now, this sporopollenin is a very resistant organic material. It can withstand high temperature and strong acids also. It can also withstand strong alkali. There is no enzyme that can degrade sporopollenin so far known. So, sporopollenin is the major reason of the resistance nature of the outer hard layer of the pollen grain. Now, the pollen grain exine is having a prominent aperture that is called the germ pore. The germ pore is a point in the pollen grain where the sporopollenin is absent. The pollen grains are well preserved as fossils because of the presence of sporopollenin. So, sporopollenin is itself a major component of the pollen grain, and it is because of the sporopollenin that we can preserve the pollen grains for many years. Now, the inner layer of the pollen grain is called the intine layer. It is thin layer and it is also continuous layer. This layer is made up of cellulose and the pectin. The cytoplasm of the pollen grain is surrounded by a plasma membrane also. When the pollen grain is mature, it contains two cells, the vegetative cell and the generative cell. The vegetative cell is a bigger cell and it is having abundant reserve food material. On other hand, the generative cell is a small type of a cell. It float in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. Now, a irregular nucleus is present in the vegetative cell. However, a prominent nucleus is present in the generative cell. So, a mature pollen grain is having two cells, vegetative and generative. Vegetative is bigger, okay, and it is having a regular shaped nucleus and abundant food reserve material, whereas the generative cell is a small spindle shaped cell which is having dense cytoplasm and the nucleus. Now, over 60% of the angiosperms, means the flowering plants, the pollen grains are shed at the two-celled stage. Two-celled stage means there are two cells present in the pollen grain, vegetative and generative. But in the remaining species, that is in the 40%, the generative cell also divide mitotically to give rise to two male gametes before the pollen grains are shed. So, in many type of the flowering plants, the pollen grains are shed as the three-celled stage. Three-celled how? One is the vegetative cell and the generative cell divide into two male gametes. So, three cells we have. Okay. Now, see the diagram of the pollen grain given over here. You can see in the diagram, the two cells are mentioned here. One is the vegetative cell and one is the generative. Vegetative one is a bigger, having a regular shaped nucleus, and the generative cell is a spindle shaped, having a small prominent nucleus. So, that's all about the structure of the pollen grain. Next is some major applications or characteristics related to the pollen grains. Now, pollen grains of many species cause severe allergies and bronchial affections in some of the people, and this also lead to chronic respiratory disorders like asthma. Now, such people are having allergy from the pollen grains, and the whenever they come near to any flower and when they inhale the smell of any flower, they start sneezing because of the as the pollen grains enter in their body, they start sneezing because they have the infection or allergy from that particular pollen grain. Okay, now you know about the Parthenium plant. That is a type of a weed. We call it as carrot grass as well. It came into the India as a contaminant, so it is coming to the India as a contaminant with the imported wheat, and it has now present is in much large amount now, and it is one of the cause of the pollen allergy. So this plant we calling it as carrot grass. It is a type of a weed, and it is a reason of the pollen allergy in many areas. Now the pollen grains are rich in the certain nutrients also, and it has become now a fashion and a recent trend to add the supplements, food supplements that have pollen tablets in it. Okay, so many people are taking pollen tablets in their diet. Okay, in many Western countries, large number of the pollen based products are prepared in the form of tablets, syrups, etc. in the market, and people believe that pollen consumption increase the performance of many athletes and the race horses. So it is a good source of the nutrients, and in many countries it is a trend now to have pollen based diet, or the having those products which contain the pollen products. Fine. Now once they are shed, the pollen grains is having certain viability period. Few lose the viability uh, after a few minutes, few are take a long period, have a long period of the viability. Now the period for which the pollen remain viable is quite different in different type of the species. Like in certain cereals, like if you talk about the rice and wheat, the pollen grains lose the viability within the 30 minutes. Okay, within 30 minutes the pollen grains lose their viability. But if you talk about some other plants belonging to the members of Rosaceae, then Leguminaceae, then Solanaceae, they remain viable for many months. So the viability of the pollen grains is very different in different species of the flowering plants. The last thing in this topic is that how we can store the pollen grains. You must be knowing about artificial insemination, okay, in which the fusion of the gametes is done in the laboratory. Okay, and here the gametes of the humans are preserved. As we can preserve the gametes of the human, in the same manner we can also preserve the gametes of the flowering plants, and we can preserve the pollen grains. Now the pollen grains can be stored in a large number for many years in liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius, and such stored pollen can be used as pollen banks, similar to the seed banks in the crop breeding program. So as we have seed banks, in a similar way we can also have the pollen banks, and these pollen banks can be used anytime for doing any research work or for getting any new type of the offspring from the pollens that we have. Okay, so that's all about the pollen grains. I hope you people have understood the topic. In this topic you should practice the diagram which is given over here, that is figure 2.5. 2.5D diagram, that is the stages of the microspore maturing into a pollen grain. These diagrams are important from this figure. Okay, then that's all for today's module. Thank you all of you.